Hi, it's Daniel Trimarchi with Level Up Coaching Services. So I just want to talk to you about this concept of this whole, like consciousness manifestos. What are they exactly? It's a very valid question. So what they are is stories, okay? These stories can help you because we're basically going to look at what happened to somebody throughout their life and understand where they went wrong. So in all these stories, there's kind of a pivotal moment that they should have found, maybe they did find, maybe they didn't find, and it shows what would happen if you did catch this moment. So let's start with kind of volume 3, okay? So volume 3, the box, something is going on with Mahmoud, and he's only able to see his problems after they happen. And that's the problem. He's not able to stop in the moment and realize what happened to him. So this whole like his friend and was influencing him, he was not able to catch at the time that his mind was being altered by his perception. So his friend was kind of like dangling, like a kind of like something he wanted, a desire, right? And it sparked something in him, and he wasn't able to kind of ground himself in that moment. So that was his moment where it's like, now I have to recognize it and kind of like work on it, because what happens is we have so many thoughts that bombard us daily. Like you cannot act on all these thoughts, right? So basically he needed to stop, reflect in the moment, and like if he wasn't able to do it himself, see somebody else, like a professional or a coach, and they would have told him like, hey, like, you have it pretty good, like a little bit of gratitude towards, your wife, what she's done, you have like beautiful children, like don't kind of like enact on your desires to say, I want more and I want to do more, right? Just be grateful for the moment. This woman has put a lot of time into this marriage, and like you guys have built something. Don't destroy it by enacting on your desires. So that's kind of the first point. If he was able to catch that in the moment when he had this first kind of like, thought in the bathroom that came to him where it's like, I need new blood. And it's like, oh, and then it's like that thought came in, but because he didn't counter that thought, it like sunk in. And that's why the next section is called the seed, right? Because that's the seed that went in, and because he didn't check it, it started to grow. Okay, let's look at book number 1, the volume number 1, which is also book 1, The Red Pill, a Consciousness Manifesto. So this is not like one progressive storyline. This is actually 2 storylines, which is showing contrast. So it's basically to say like, one Mr. Novak worked on himself and one Mr. Novak did not. So when this moment came of, like his emotions being triggered, which was fear, this woman, this opportunistic woman came, she saw the spill on the floor, she slipped, she fell, and fear was triggered inside of him. So in the reactive path, the first Mr. Novak, he was not able to actually recognize that fear, right? He enacted on it. He was like, oh, she fell. I need to protect myself. Like, it's like his mind went from not like stop in the moment, respond to the moment. It was basically fear, react. I need to protect myself. She told me she's going to sue. I need to kind of protect my business. His mind went through worst case scenarios. He didn't stop in the moment. That was his moment, that if he was able to kind of stop in the moment, recognize the moment, be aware of the moment, then he would have been able to kind of make a better choice in the moment to kind of say, oh, okay, like what's the play here? Who is this woman? Is she a customer? Do I know her? Do I not know her? What do my insurance say? Does she look hurt? Do I call an ambulance? There's like a million variations that could happen. But because you recognize the moment, you recognize the person in the moment, he looked at her, he's like, I've never seen this woman before. She doesn't even have any like dry cleaning with her. Like, who is this lady? Where did she come from? He wasn't responding to the situation, he was reacting to it. So that was the moment that was a pinnacle moment in that story. So now we've seen 2. We've seen volume number 3, the box, that pinnacle moment where if he was aware, his whole life could have changed. We've seen volume number 1, the red pill, that pinnacle moment where if he was aware, this whole kind of like shift would have happened. Now let's talk about volume 2, the Chameleon. So this is a different story, and yes, it's about awareness, but it's about not awareness of the moment, it's about awareness of self, right? So when we know ourselves, we know who we are deep down at the root of it. So that's what gives us strength. And it's not just that I'm aware of the moment, I'm aware of the situation, but I'm also aware of myself, who I am as a person, not just my name, not just my title, not just, you know, my likes and dislikes, but my values, my core values, what I stand for, what I don't stand for. You know, these are kind of character defining traits that kind of enact or that kind of talk about who we are as a person. So the whole storyline behind that was that he didn't know himself. He never worked on himself since a young age, you know, being kind of like first generation immigrant to a new country. His goal was kind of blending in, and he never stopped to think about himself. He just always was go, 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 until the going just collapsed, right? Until that tragic moment. And he had nothing to stand on. He was like, I'm broken and I don't even know who I am. So these are all kind of important stories, and that's the fundamental of learning, which is that we don't need necessarily these things to happen to us. What we do need to do is be aware of the moment, and that's what these stories give you. It takes you from a state of like, I didn't even know like this was possible, to, oh, I see it now and I can see how my life can be better. And that's what these consciousness manifestos do for you, is that I know they're a bit long, they're 40-minute stories. I cannot give you like life-changing information, you know, directly like this in a YouTube video. These stories open our perception to what could be possible if I kind of was aware of the moment, was aware of myself, was aware of different things. And that's when life gets better, is that we start becoming in tune, right, to the situation, to the moment, to people. And when we become in tune, we also become stronger. You know, we're not as kind of susceptible to other people and their games, right? Somebody comes and they try to play a game on you, and you can see it from a mile away. But if you are not aware of the moment, this person sees what you want, they plant a seed of fear inside of you, and that's it, like you're sold. It's like, oh, I need to protect myself, I need to be aware, you know, like it happens daily throughout life, this whole thing where people mess with our emotions. And these kind of consciousness manifestos, they just make you aware of, hey, there's like bad players out there who are trying to get something out of you. So this video has been going on for a little while now, 8 minutes. So thank you for your time. Check out the Consciousness Manifestos. And like I said, you'll get something out of it. To see this story, to see it happen to somebody else, is to actually become aware of the possibilities of what can happen, and, you know, kind of be able to see the moment more clearly. Thank you.